Hello again, everybody, and welcome to the Mike Francesa podcast, part of the Bet Rivers Network. And we come to you tonight after another just wonderful Jet performance against the Dolphins. And it's good that the Dolphins own somebody, and two Dolphins own the Jets. That's just the way it is. Here's the bottom line. This isn't going to be pretty. I am not going to sit here and completely destroy a coach who has been a head coach for 4 games. You have to give any coach a reasonable amount of time. But if you think that any optimism you had from early statements from Aaron Glenn, that this was going to be a crisper product, that this was going to be a different team, that they weren't going to be the same old Jets, has been nothing but complete nonsense. They have been in every way the same old Jets or worse. This product stinks right now. That's all there is to it. This is a joke. They are dumb. They lack professionalism. They shoot themselves in the foot at every turn. And they are not in any way a complete team or a team you can hang your hat on in any way. The Jets can run the football. The tackles are becoming important players and will be focal points of this team going forward. I believe when they finally, if they ever put everything together. But yes, they can run the ball, but you cannot turn the ball over, which they do. You replace a returner with a returner who not only fumbles the opening kickoff on the third quarter, but catches the ball, a fair catch of a punt on the 2-yard line. Who's coaching these guys? Who's picking these guys? Who's coaching these guys? And I don't want to hear from Glenn. And he was much, if you noticed, less defiant. With each week, he's becoming less defiant because he doesn't know what else to say. And he knows that he doesn't have a leg to stand on. His team's going out there, and they're putrid. You know what? So what? They put in a late score tonight. So what? They're never winning that game. They're never winning that game. They punted the ball back with 7 minutes left, and Miami came right down the field. Right down the field. Ashawn left, Ashawn right. Boom, boom, boom. He almost broke it for a touchdown. They are just a bad, unprofessional, dumb football team. And I'll tell you something else. They don't believe that Fields can beat you with the pass. I don't care what Fields' numbers look like. They don't believe in his passing ability. In the third quarter, they're down 2 scores, and they run the ball 3 times into the line. What are you doing? You can't win in this league if you don't throw the ball. You throw the ball to win in this league. Yes, it's nice to have balance, and you want to be able to run the football. You want to have a good offensive line. You want to be able to run play action off your running game. All true. But they don't equip this guy in any way. And let's be honest, Fields scores on a 45, 47, whatever that touchdown run was. That's a broken play on 4th down. He could have just as easily been tackled for a 10-yard loss as him going for a touchdown. You know what? The Dolphin player, the second one, there were 2 there, took a bad angle. Otherwise, it's a 10-yard loss. That's a broken play. That's not a design play. That's not a winning play. That's a lucky play with a guy who's got good legs. Yes, Field in the open field, Fields can run. We know that about him. He's not a confident passer, and he runs the offense at glacier speed. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't play the quarterback position like a winning quarterback. And he doesn't play it like a quarterback who has any confidence in his passing game. And they got the ball to Wilson a couple of times late on that. All right, he pushed off and then made a great catch. And he did push off, but that was a borderline call, okay? But they called it. Then he gets what is a ball thrown up for grabs, and he makes a great catch in the end zone, gets his feet down, so they get the score there. So the game looks more respectable. They never get an onside kick because you can't get an onside kick in this league. So you know the game's going to be over right there. And they got him to the ball late. They can't get him against a good team. They can't get him the ball because you're going to take him out of the offense. They are going to take him out of the offense because they don't have a number two. The brightest spot, I saw two bright spots on the Jets tonight. Number one, their tackles are growing up into men. You have a second-year tackle and a first-year tackle, both high draft picks. They're growing up into men. Number two, I like the tight end. His dad was a Hall of Fame player. Okay? He's a nice tight end. He has a future. He understands what he's doing out there. He's a pass-catching tight end. I don't know yet what kind of blocker he is, but he is a pass-catching tight end who understands. He sat down in the zone. He turned the right way to get the first down. He's been schooled well. He's a football player. Taylor is a football player and a guy who's going to be a very good tight end, I think. They found a player there. They desperately need a target opposite Wilson because they can't get Wilson the ball in any critical spot. No way. And I'll tell you right now, I hate to say this, they would be a much more dangerous team if Taylor was the quarterback because he will distribute the ball to the right people at the right time and he'll run the offense with a verve, with a meaning, with a purpose. Fields doesn't do that. Yes, Fields can beat you with his legs. And the Jets should use a lot more of the stuff that Miami uses. Get him out. Roll him. Get him on the waggles and the half rolls and stuff like that because that's the way you're going to get receivers open and get him moving. He's going to be better throwing the ball that way. He's more confident when he's moving. He's not a comfortable pocket player. And he's not a confident passer in any way. I have no confidence in their passing game. I have no confidence in their defense either way, against the run or the pass. And here they are, 0-4, and they're stinking up the joint. They play an 0-3 team that is desperate, that loses its best player, probably for the season, in the second quarter. Tyreek Hill, I believe, has a dislocated knee. That is the worst injury. That is the whole thing. That is the worst injury you can have. The dislocated knee is the worst injury you can have to the knee. That is the grand prize. I think he has a dislocated knee from what I saw. And he's probably done for the season unless it's a miraculous instance. I think, yesterday when you saw Neighbors, you knew he was badly hurt. It turns out that he's obviously gone for the season. I think Tyreek Hill's gone for the season. I don't think there's any question. I'd be shocked if he wasn't. But they made plays. Ashawn, who's a really good player, makes plays. Tua made plays tonight. We know what Tua's strengths are. We know what his negatives are. He made plays tonight. He made plays to an old guy the Giants know a lot about. Obviously, a tight end who always was very good at catching the ball and exceedingly good at catching the ball in the red zone. I mean, that was always a strength. And the Dolphins were the smarter team. They were the better coach team. And they were the better team tonight. They didn't make the mistakes. They didn't turn the ball over. It just came out and rammed the ball right down the Dolphins' throat. No question about it. That was a tough break that they got the ball stripped there. But you know what? Ball security is a big part of winning in this league. I'm sorry. This is the same old Jets. I understand that everyone likes Aaron Glenn, liked him as a player, hopes that having been schooled under the right head coaches, coming from what recently was a winning outfit in Detroit, having learned at the knee of a Bill Parcells, you hope that some of that has rubbed off. But right now, you're not seeing anything from Aaron Glenn that you haven't seen from these other awful coaches before. They're not any better. They're not improving. They're not getting better. He comes out and gives you the lip service to the same nonsense and the same garbage every week. Well, we got to play better. We got to play smarter. We can't make mistakes. We have to correct these mistakes. How are you going to correct these mistakes? Well, we're going to go back to work. 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 Every losing coach tells you he's going back to work. What is he going to tell you? I'm not going to work. I'm going on vacation. And we'll take a couple of days off. Hey, you know what? I'll see you Friday. Hey, we all know you're going back to work, but you don't know what the heck you're doing. What good does it do? Not getting any better. 13 penalties, dumb mistakes, turnovers in the special teams, turnovers everywhere, catching the ball on the 2-yard line, personal fouls, offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference. Basically, they show you the whole litany tonight. 13 accepted penalties for 101 yards. That's a touchdown. 100 yards, 7 points. Same old Jets. 0-4, going absolutely nowhere. And if the idea was to decide whether Fields is your future, he's not. Everything I heard from the Bears, the guys I know around the Bears, was the same thing. Good athlete, great runner, not a good passer. What do I see? Good athlete, great runner, not a good passer. Not a good quarterback, not a winning quarterback. That's what I see. I'm sorry. Does not distribute the ball properly. They're not running a fluid, balanced offense. They want to run the ball. They don't want to put the ball in his hands. And they can't get the ball to the number one receiver because he's going to be double teamed and taken out by any decent defense. You want to force feed him and get him the ball a couple times? Fine. They force feed him when the game was over. He had 3 catches when it was still a game. 3. He wound up with 6, including the last one with 2 seconds left. Which I know the number of the night was 5.5, so some of you were rejoicing that he got that dump off for his 6th catch. I understand that. Playing that game, of totals and props and everything else. I understand that was a meaningful play with 2 seconds left. So you knew he was going to dump it to Wilson. At least you thought he would. And you know what? Count your blessings that they touched the ball, because if they didn't touch the ball, the clock would have run out, because unless you do that, the ball's going to get, while it's wobbling, the clock's going to run out. Clock would have run out there. That's why you have to fair catch that if you're the Jets, because that's the only way you're going to get any time on the clock. But again, you have to be around the block a couple of times before you realize that. The Jets are being coached by a first-year coach who's going through all the things that a first-year coach always goes through. And they put the team in the hands of a very limited quarterback. And they're a team that continues to make mistakes. And that's the bottom line. Okay? That is the bottom line. They're not any better. They are the same old Jets, just like you could have that clown Salah, okay, who's out there starting fights in San Francisco when his team loses with the Jaguars. That you could have him doing the same stuff here. It's no better. And Glenn tried to sell you something early. I come from I came here to do a job. I'm a Jet. I have the right background. I know how to do this. Penalties unacceptable. My way or the highway, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? They look like the same dumb, unprofessional, stupid team we've seen for years. Does that categorize how they play? Yes. Does dumb categorize how they play? Yes. Does unprofessional categorize how they play? Yes. 3 turnovers, 13 accepted penalties, mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake. 0-4. Dallas coming in. Could they beat the Cowboys? Well, the Cowboy defense is atrocious. You saw it again last night. Their offense played well last night. Give them credit. Green Bay didn't show up. Sometimes on the road, Green Bay's defense, and Parsons did nothing. That was a vacation week in Dallas. Then they will play the Broncos in London, which is not going to be pretty. and then they come home and play the Panthers, who were dreadful. So they got 2 shots at a win in the next 3 weeks. They don't have 2 in the next 3 weeks. Then you're gonna be discussing their chances to get the first pick in the draft, you know? And then you can start thinking about quarterbacks. That's where this is headed right now. I mean, that's how bad this thing looks, although their schedule is not that tough. Not like the Giants' schedule, which is absolutely brutal. But I don't want to come down, and I don't on first-year coaches. It's just you have to give them a little time. It's only fair, but he came in with an attitude and came in with this, "We're gonna do it this way, and we're not accepting anything else, and we're gonna be professional, and we're gonna play winning football and smart football and crisp football." And you know what? They haven't done one bit of that. And now you can see him softening at the podium. "We'll go back to work. We'll get back to work. We'll get back to work," which is what every losing coach always says. It's not acceptable. Very disappointing. We'll get back to work. You can write it down before the game's over. That's what they're going to say. What else they're going to say? You're 0-4, you go back and try to make it 1-4. When you lose and you're dumb and you make continued problems, and next week you're playing a quarterback who will move the football on you. You know that. Plus, the building will be full of Dallas Cowboy fans, so it won't even be a home Jets game. We know that. Not that the Cowboys are anything great. They're not. Their defense is atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. I mean, everybody, if you can pass the ball on them, which the Jets can't, you can get a lot of points off them. I mean, that game last night ends 40-40 in overtime. But frankly, hey, there's nothing good to say about the Jets here. This was a terrible, disappointing performance on a night where this was a winnable game. They came out and played a dumb, mistake-ridden, awful football game. And now they're 0-4. They should be comfortable being 0-4. They're really bad. You know, last year, they lost 5 or 6 games that they could have easily won. That would have put them in the playoffs. This is a whole different deal here now. This is a whole different deal. You're talking about a team that's going to have a hard time winning games the way they're playing. And with an offense that just is not in any way a bona fide NFL passing offense. They're going to be boring and bad. And that's a bad combination. Now, tomorrow, we will see you tomorrow night after game 1. We will make the quick shift to baseball. 4 big playoff games tomorrow. Let me set the table for you just in case you haven't done it. And then I got a couple of messages for you, but just in case you haven't done it, let me do it for you right now. And I'll give you the Bet Rivers odds on the latest Bet Rivers odds on the games as we open up the playoffs tomorrow with 4 big games, starting with Cleveland. The amazing Guardians. Hey, at least I don't call them the Indians. Here we go. 108 tomorrow. Skubal on the mound. Tigers, obviously an 8-5 favorite. Followed by the Padres and the Cubs, which should be a terrific series. Very well balanced series. Cubbies a slight, very, very, very slight favorite in the game. Yankees not a heavy favorite in the battle of left-handers tomorrow night. A classic pitching matchup, and the Yankees a 6.5 to 5 favorite. Really a classic pitching matchup. Two terrific pitchers, and the Red Sox, they caused the Yankees some problems. They pressure their defense, and obviously they have pitching, and they got a heck of a closer. And then tomorrow night, the overwhelming underdog, the Cincinnati Reds, who made the playoffs. The Cincinnati Reds, under their brilliant manager who just put another star in what has already been, without question, a Hall of Fame managerial career, will be decided underdogs against the healthier and very imposing Dodgers. The Dodgers are an 11 to 5 favorite tomorrow against the Cincinnati Reds. So the other teams, of course, have their byes, and the Mets, of course, went bye-bye. And so 4 big games tomorrow. The Yankees come your way at 6:08. And what's better than September turning into October and the Yankees and the Red Sox playing postseason baseball? Doesn't get any better than that. And hey, baseball, I've always said this, what can be an at bat that can be tedious in July is incredibly dramatic. October. That at bat where the pitch, there's 2 guys on base and 2 outs. And the count was 0-2, and now he fouled off a pitch, and now he takes ball 1. Then he fouls off 2 more pitches, and now it's 2-2. Is he going to throw the fastball? Is he going to throw the breaking ball? Is he going to throw the changeup on 2-2? And he just misses. Now it's a full count, and he fouls off another one. That at bat, that 10-pitch at bat in October is excruciatingly dramatic. And that's why baseball in October is a wonderful, most sports are great in the playoffs. Baseball is exceptional in the playoffs. It really is. In the regular season, hey, you play 162, some of them against opponents that you don't think very highly of. A lot of rotten games, a lot of rotten pitching. Bottom line is now where every pitch, every inning, every at bat is so crucial, it's fun. And the pressure's there. It's time for the postseason, and it's the Yankees and the Red Sox. We'll see after the game tomorrow night. And remember, a couple things. Number 1, sign up for the free Mike Francesa newsletter. You'll get exclusive content, contests, and offers. Go to the MikeFrancesAPodcast.com and sign up. Remember, it is always free. Let me tell you about the Bet Rivers Football Squares. Players who place a qualifying same-game parlay of at least $10 on any eligible NFL and NCAA football game will receive 1 standard entry into the weekly Squares game. You can get 2, you can get 3, you can get 4 based on the size of your wager on the same-game parlays. Winning standard squares will be awarded a prize of a $20 bonus bet. See app and website for more details. So play along. It's a lot of fun. Doesn't cost you anything. It's an added bonus, and you have a chance to win plenty of bonus dollars courtesy of the good folks at Bet Rivers. So terrific time. Football on the weekend. Hey, there's nothing better than October. Nothing better than October. That I know the beautiful days of summer and the 70 and 75-degree days are going to be part of our past very quickly. They were planting the mums at my house today, which is always a sure sign of fall. But you know what? Yankees and the Red Sox. Looking forward to it. We'll see you after game 1.